you never quite know which face or which woman is going to resonate with a possible consumer. They have different accents. They're talking about different benefits of the product. They look differently. They're in different environments. But the key here is that these look real. These are real women, right? They were not monetarily paid to do this. This is not a professional makeup shoot, right? They're in their living room or their bathroom or their kitchen talking about how much they love Boom and how the product has changed their life. So let's go into campaign number 1 of 5. So this is from Boom by Cindy Joseph. The business objective here is customer acquisition. So looking to acquire new customers at the top of the funnel for at least break even. The platform here is Facebook ads. The offer, so where we are sending traffic, is to a pre-sale article. It's titled 5 Makeup Tips for Older Women. And the results were pretty exciting. So we ran this a few months ago, 13,000 customers acquired at a $45 CPA, which is really great nowadays with Facebook ads. At Boom, we can spend about $75 to $85 to acquire a customer because our average order value is pretty high. So we were very, very happy with this cost per acquisition of a customer. So that left us with about $600,000 in ad spend and about $1 million in revenue back to the brand. So there was actually a lot more scale left on this campaign here in terms of we weren't even close to break even. We kind of just reached the amount of scale we were able to obtain on the platform with this one particular campaign. So this ran about a month. And if you are a seasoned media buyer that's in here doing this every day, especially for an e-commerce business, you probably have one cold traffic Facebook ad campaign that is your most important cold campaign. And it's probably getting most of the cold traffic spend. And it might be something that you're constantly updating or rebuilding to really keep it going. And that is absolutely what this campaign is. So although this only lasted a month, we are always running a variation of the campaign that I am about to show you. And once it starts to fatigue or something happens or it's no longer working, usually that's around this month period, that's when we go ahead and duplicate and build a campaign that's similar but a bit different, whether we're changing the targeting, whether we're introducing new ad copy or creative. We're always running a variation of the campaign that I'm about to show you, but very happy with the results on this one. So as I said, we are sending traffic to a pre-sale article. About 80 to 90% of the cold traffic that we purchase for this brand goes to this one particular pre-sale article, 5 Makeup Tips for Older Women. This allows us to not only qualify the audience and call out the audience, but it also allows us to educate and entertain them a bit before we start to make them the offer. You will see though, even here above the fold, we do have an offer here on the right-hand side of the copy of the pre-sale article. So we are starting to introduce the product early, but instead of saying, hey, our makeup's great, hop over to a product page to purchase, we are sending most of our traffic here to this particular pre-sale article. If you want to see this in full form, just go ahead and Google 5 Makeup Tips for Older Women, Boom. You will probably find many variations of this pre-sale article that we've tested and run over the years. But all of this traffic is going here to this pre-sale article. So in terms of campaign setup, the objective is conversions, purchases. So even though we're going to a pre-sale article, we are still optimizing for conversions. We're still optimizing for purchases because that's truly what we're wanting from this campaign. The budget is CBO. So we are setting the budget at the campaign level, letting Facebook do its thing. Attribution, which is a big discussion now since all of the iOS 14 fun. We are using one-day click here because this is a purchase that usually happens quickly. Someone sees the ad, they click over to the pre-sale article, and they're likely to buy. Of course, that doesn't mean we're not retargeting. It doesn't mean that there aren't people that are in our sales cycle for a long time, but on average, people buy pretty quickly. So we're using that one-day click attribution. This particular campaign has 8 ad sets. Whenever we're using CBO within any of our brands, we use about 5 to 8 ad sets. We found that to be the sweet spot nowadays for the amount of ad sets that Facebook can really give proper reach to. And then within each of those ad sets, we have 8 ads, which again is about best practice for us right now. Anywhere between 5 and 8 ad sets in each ad set, or between 5 and 8 ads in each ad set is a nice amount nowadays, especially with the iOS updates. We used to have maybe 10 to 15 ads, and now we're erring more on the side of simplicity and a smaller number of ads, which can be hard for us when you're marketers with lots of ideas and lots of different ads that you want to test. But this was the exact setup for this particular campaign that we have been discussing. Now let's talk about the targeting really quick and kind of the ins and outs of this campaign. So you can see the 8 different ad sets here. They got a pretty good amount of distribution between the 8 ad sets. Also, we're seeing a very similar cost per result between these ad sets, which shows us that we have a really good offer. This isn't just great targeting. We have a great offer that people are interested in because almost every ad set is performing very similar. Again, like I said, we have pretty proper reach between all of the ad sets. Of course, there are always going to be a few, especially when you're using CBO, that are going to get more reach than others. That is natural. There's nothing wrong. That's nothing to panic about or freak out about or fix. It's just part of the game. So I just wanted to show you guys this screenshot to really show you how the distribution looked between these 8 ad sets before we dive into who we are targeting within each of these ad sets. So I just want to flip through the different ad sets and show you exactly who we're reaching. So this first one is completely broad, which I'm sure a lot of you media buyers are familiar with. We're targeting all women over the age of 50 in the US, excluding buyers and also matching with people who are on Chrome. This is something that our media buyer, Boris, has found to work really well in this account. So usually when we are setting up a broad ad set or campaign, we also match them with a particular browser. So again, this is broad, matched with people who are using Chrome, women over the age of 50. Very simple, not something that I would do in a brand new Facebook ad account, but Facebook's algorithm is smart enough nowadays to pretty much get broad targeting to work in almost any ad account if you have the right amount of data. The second ad set here is what we call a super lookalike. So we basically squish all of our best lookalikes together into one ad set. So you can see that these are 2%. The next one's going to be the same exact audience, but 1%. You can see that we have buyers, of course, but what I really want to point out are these super cool variable lookalike audiences. These are pretty new on the Facebook platform. I think they were launched last year. Most people aren't aware of the fact that you can build these. But you can create a lookalike audience off of things like buyers who have had a greater value than 90% of other buyers in the last 90 days. Buyers who buy more often than 90% of others in 90 days. Impulse buyers of the last 90 days who viewed content at least one time and made a purchase. So we're creating some pretty niche audiences here that we're able to then create lookalike audiences off of, and they're performing really well for us. Also, this is something that's still working. We created an audience of all of the people that bought during COVID because, and I know a lot of e-commerce brands had a huge surge of new customers acquired during the first few months of COVID. And so we simply uploaded that buyers list, created a lookalike audience, and this lookalike audience, even though it's, a year and a half later, is still performing really, really well for us. So one ad set is 2% of all of these guys. And then the next, of course, is just 1%. And we call this a super lookalike audience, and we call it squishing for some reason. And we squish all of these lookalikes together to get a nice larger audience size here for Facebook. Okay, now we're getting a bit more into interest targeting. Again, we're wanting to reach women over the age of 50. For each of our brands, we have a Google Doc that we are constantly maintaining where we add new ideas for interests that we could target to reach that particular avatar. So for this ad set, we're trying to reach people who are following actresses who have silver hair and who would be well known by this particular demographic. So Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, etc., Meryl Streep. This ad set is performing really well for us. And even though you're not going to see it as much in this particular campaign, even with the amount of scale that we're at with Boom currently, we are still using a ton of interest targeting to allow us to reach audiences that we otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. So one of the ways we do that is through this Hollywood silver hair batch of interests here. Now, these other ones that I'm going to show you are a bit broader. I wouldn't necessarily recommend stuff like this for every brand, but because Boom is at the amount of scale that it is, spending about $20,000, $30,000 a day on Facebook ads, we're able to sort of get away with this style of targeting. So things like, people who are interested in country music, but are also married, or people who are interested in coffee houses, but are also frequent travelers, or women over the age of 50 who are interested in Oprah, which was actually, I believe, one of the highest performing ad sets here within this particular campaign, which I'm not super surprised by. But, especially if you have a smaller, medium-sized brand when it comes to the paid traffic side of things, we want to get a lot more specific with our interest. Like you saw with the Hollywood hair, you don't just want to go out and target Oprah. But that's kind of the stage that we're in here with Boom. Women over the age of 50 who are interested in weddings. Again, pretty broad, but worked really well for this particular campaign. Now, if you want to see the ads in this campaign, hop over to Facebook Ad Library and search Boom by Cindy Joseph. These are still running. But what's interesting is that we have 8 ads, and I believe 5 of them are user-generated content. So we have something called an ambassador program where we get our best customers, people that are really loving our product. We get them to record these amazing videos talking about how Boom has changed their life, showing a demo of the product. And this has been our main stream of creatives for the past 2 or 3 years. So you see, we have Lisa, we have Tori, I believe her name is Sharon. And we're constantly cycling in new faces because you never quite know which face or which woman is going to resonate with a possible consumer. They have different accents. They're talking about different benefits of the product. They look differently. They're in different environments. But the key here is that these look real. These are real women, right? They were not monetarily paid to do this. This is not a professional makeup shoot, right? They're in their living room or their bathroom or their kitchen talking about how much they love Boom and how the product has changed their life. So you see, okay, this is Sharon. We have Christine, and we're just constantly cycling through these new creative videos that we are receiving through our ambassador program. Now, we are actually starting to leverage more traditional, old school, direct response creatives that actually look like ads more this year than we have in the past 3 or 4 years. And we're seeing this across all of our brands. User-generated content and native advertising are still the winner. They are still the best type of ad creative to use by far, but we are starting to see that these more traditional creative styles are making a resurgence. And I think there are a few reasons for that. I think that you're seeing so much user-generated content in your newsfeed now as a consumer that you might start to engage again with ads that look like ads. And I think we're also just seeing, I think we're essentially seeing that so many brands are using this creative style because it works, that there is starting to be a banner blindness that is developing because of that. That's what I was trying to say. So we're still using those. About 80% of our ads are native advertising, and about 20% are more of these traditional style ads, simply displaying the product. These two are simple GIFs that just pop through some different colored backgrounds, but keep this very simple text on the screen.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you truly enjoyed it. I'm Alessio Pieroni and I'm the founder of Scale for Impact and obviously of Scale with Alessio. In this channel you can find some of the most amazing marketing content, the content that will help your online education business to go to the next level. And if you want to see other videos like this one, please subscribe to this channel. It means really the world for us. And please also comment below and tell us how you found this video. It's truly important. If on the other side you want to go to the next level and you actually want to make sure that you can watch the entire talks from the Scale series, you want to see over 50 speakers, people that have been changing the entire marketing landscape, and see exactly how these can take your business to the next level, please subscribe to the Scale series. For just $99, you're gonna get the chance to see some of the most amazing speakers, and on top of that, get a lot of other bonuses. You're gonna have 3 amazing books completely for free inside that, tens of hours of other marketing training, all of it for just $99. Literally, that's just $2 per talk. And we're not talking about random speakers. We're talking about people like Jay Abram, people like Alex Cattoni, Vishen Lakhiani, Jeff Walker, Perry Marshall, Rich Sheffrin, Molly Pittman, Murray Smith. Incredible people that changed the entire marketing landscape right now at your fingertip for just $2 each. So don't wait anymore. It's time for you to get the Scale series. See you there and upgrade your marketing knowledge.